In a far-off western country, where friends are few and dear, where cattle roam in thousands and the skies are always clear, we were rounding up one morning when the work was nearly done, when the cattle all stampeded in a wild and maddened run. 'Twas the boss's little daughter was holding on that side. She tried to check the cattle, 'twas a wild and dangerous ride. Beneath the lass's saddle, early on that fatal morn, I'd placed the scarlet blanket, a mistake I'll always mourn. When the cattle saw that blanket, it pricked their maddened brain. They bore down on the lassie, and death rode wild again. The boss's little daughter rode the best horse on the round, but he stumbled in a dog hole and threw her to the ground. The cattle thundered toward her, and she surely would have died, but someone spurred his cow horse like lightning to her side. He hung down from his pony and caught her from the ground, but the cinches broke beneath him and once more hurled him down. From the dust sprang Utah Carroll, a blanket waving gay. He led off at an angle, and the cattle came his way. This task of his accomplished, and the child safe on the side, he stopped to face the cattle, now wild and mad and tied. His pistol flashed like lightning, and it sounded loud and clear. He failed to stop the cattle, but he dropped the leading steer. 1,000 hoofs a-pounding and 1,000 slashing horns snuffed out the life of Utah, the bravest hero born. In a far-off western country, where friends are few and dear, stands a humble little headstone neath the sky that's always clear. And the rancher's little daughter now often comes to pray for the man who died so freely to save her life that day.
Highwayman, Cole Younger is my name, with deeds and desperation that fought my name to shame. Robbing of the Northfield Bank is a thing I'll never deny, but which I will be sorry of until the day I die. We started for old Texas, that grand old Lone Star State. Was there on the Brasket prairies, the James boys we did meet. With knives, gun and revolvers, we all sit down to play a game of good old poker to pass the time away. Across the Brasket prairies, a Denver train we spied. I says to Bob, we'll rob her as she goes rolling by. We saddled up our horses, northwestward we did go, to the God-forsaken country called Minnesota. I had my eye on the Northfield Bank when Brother Bob did say, Cole, if you undertake the job, you'll always curse the day. We stationed out our pickets, up to the bank did go. Was there up on the counter, boys, we struck our fatal blow. Saying, hand us out your money, sir, and make no long delay. We are the noted younger boys and spend no time in play. The cashier being as true as steel refuses a noted band. Was Jesse James that pulled a trigger that killed this noble man? We run for lives, for death was near 400 on our trail. We soon was overtaken and landed safe in jail. Was there in the Stillwater jail we lay, wearing our lives away. 2 James boys left to tell the tale of the sad and fatal day. Bill was a Texas lad, and he could rope, he bet. He said the brood he couldn't tie, he never met his match. The boy knew of an old black steer was a kind of an old outlaw that run down in the bushes, boys down in the mouth of draw. The boys bet Bill 2-1, he couldn't quite get there. Bill let out with his wraps and shaps, his boots and spurs were all prepared to tackle that old black steer that run down in a draw. Black steer, he stood his ground, it cowboy everywhere. Bill began to whimper when he seen old Blackie paw, but he hiked his tail up in the air, went drifting down a draw. Horse, he flew at him that he'd been eating corn. Bill touched a little McGee rope around old Brackie's horn. That old gray horse, he stopped right still and cinches broke like straw. Billy and his shamstack tree went drifting down a draw. Bill got up and paid his debts without a bit of jaw. Bill says he guess old Black is a boss that runs down in a draw.
I am a Mormon cowboy, and Utah is my home. Tucson, Arizona is the first place I did roam. From there into El Capitan, a place you all know well. To describe that brushy country, no mortal tongue can tell. While at the old post office, a maid came riding down upon a bronco pony, and was soon up on the ground. She gave to each and every one an invitation grand, inviting us to a grand ball at the old El Capitan. We all went to the dance that night at the schoolhouse by the road. Many folks came from Dripping Springs, and many came from Globe. The music they brought with them I never shall forget. 'Twas a colored man with his guitar, I can hear him singing yet. There were lots of married women there and single girls.